to the world when you create them, which means as they grow and sort of level up and change venues over time, they leave their hometown and become sort of, international superstars. This background that they'll be in will change from this to a desert scene to some train tracks to backstage at a show, and you'll always sort of see them existing in this world, and you get to feel really attached to these characters you've customized. The other great thing about that is that they also star in little vignettes throughout the game that'll pop up in the narrative. So you play through the game, you get these sort of band moments that we've pulled from, our tour experiences and stories that we've heard that all sort of relate to what it's like to be in a persistent band that lives together and does this crazy stuff. So we're really excited about all the ways that your characters fit together, and we'll want you to grab on and try to make them the best they can be. So let's go into the song list now and talk about that. So with 2,000 songs, we have a lot of work to do to make sure you can actually manage your library. That's a lot of music to go through, and scrolling one song at a time is not a viable option unless you want to wait 3 hours to play The Who. So we added a filtering system instead of a sorting system. So now if you want to see only songs from Rock Band 3, and Allie backs up now, she can back to the main menu, and those are only songs from Rock Band 3. So you see at the top it says viewing 22 of 1166 songs. So we've now said, I want to play the new songs I just got on this disc. You can take all your DLC and hide it for a minute and scroll through. But if you go back to the sorting, we can now say, okay, I also only want songs from the 80s. Let's start go to the songs from the 80s. 180 songs from the 80s on my console. And then maybe let's do only short songs. I have a really narrow attention span the second day of E3. So we've now limited it from 1,166 songs down to one song by just sort of guessing a couple options we might want. And it's I Love Rock and Roll, and I Love Rock and Roll is awesome, but we're not going to play it right now. So it's really exciting to do that. You can have family-friendly songs only. You can have songs that only have keyboard support if you don't want to, if you just bought a new keyboard peripheral, you want to play on that. You can have the never-ending epic songs only, or your favorite metal songs. So there's a ton of ways to filter your content. So if you have these thousands of songs on your console, you can really customize what you're seeing on screen and choose from. It's been really helpful doing demos, and we think it's going to be really fun for our players when it comes out. Also, we have a great song rating feature in the game. So you may have played previous titles and had to play Say It Ain't So over and over and over again because they popped up a random set list no matter how many times you played it. Now you get to rate your songs when you're finished. And if you rate a song highly, say 5 letters, that song will come up more and more often in random set lists. If you rate a song low, it'll sort of be hidden from you. It won't pop up all the time. And then you can also sort by rating. So if you wanted to see your favorite songs that you've played through, you can sort of pop it up as a menu option, which is really exciting. It also works inside of our song recommendation engine. So we're actually going to have a way to recommend other songs in the Rock Band catalog that you might want to check out from what you've liked and what you've been playing, which we're really excited about. With a music library as dominant as ours and as huge as ours, it's hard to navigate with a controller, so we want to try to steer you to the greatest songs that you'll enjoy. And then last but not least, inside of our music library, before we get back to the fun playing of instruments, we have set lists now. You may say, well, we had set lists before. That's a stupid point to bring up. I hate this demo. And I'd say, hold on, wait a second, I'm getting there. So in set lists in Rock Band 3, you can actually save your set list for the first time. So you want to make your ultimate metal set list, make it, save it whenever you want to go back to it if they're on your console. We have some built-in set lists like Drummer's Delight or starting out with Pro Guitar. And then the other cool thing is you can share set lists with your friends. You can challenge them to play your set list. It's sort of our challenge system now. Instead of our daily tour, we have our daily challenges. We now have you can challenge your friends over Facebook or Twitter or through rockband.com to beat your punk rock guitar set list. And more importantly, if you're at work and your boss has made you do some terrible stuff and you're bored, you go into rockband.com and make a set list and push it to your console. So when you get home, you'll be ready to rock on whatever you've been queuing up, and that's pretty exciting too. So we're really pumped about that. That's sort of all the new little tiny menu features we just want to get out there before we move on to sort of some broader stuff. So really quickly, we'll talk about one more thing and then we'll jump into keyboard stuff. Yeah. So Rock Band 3, I think I mentioned sort of like 3 or 4 games in one. The first game is sort of for the casual player, for our party player who wants to have fun on the weekends, play for a couple hours, get a pizza and some beer and just have a good time, or play with their kids or whatever. Don't give your kids beer. And in that case, we have all instruments mode, 7-player, drop in, drop out, no fail. We have no fail persistent. You can turn it on and off for individual players, which is really exciting. And sort of maybe most importantly, we have party shuffle mode, which lets you jump right in with one button and just start playing songs. And the game will just spit new songs at you. You can skip over it with one button and just get right into playing. So if you're not into the hardcore aspects, you can just have fun with Rock Band, more music, more instruments. It's really great. But if you are sort of a hardcore gamer and you want to sort of fight through a campaign, you want to get all the goals, get all the achievements in the gamer score, we've changed our campaign now to be sort of a persistent career mode across the entire game tied to your profile. So that means no matter where you are in the game, if you're in the trainers or quick play or road challenges, you're always unlocking these little nuggets of points for your character and unlockable items and sort of progressing down the path for your overall career. So if you want to become the ultimate guitarist, there's a path for that. If you want to become the greatest keyboard player, there's a way to get to that goal. try not to say there's a path to that over and over again and knock off Apple, sorry. So we're really excited about that, and then in between we have sort of the rock band faithful, right, who are hardcore players, but they're really just in it to play rock band with a band once in a while and get really into it and have a great night, like a single rock band night that they kick ass at. And for that we have road challenges, which is sort of replacing our career mode. And in that case, you bring your friends over, and instead of having a persistent endless band world tour, you have a little chunk of like 2 to 4 hours in one night, where it's like an East Coast tour or a punk rock clubs tour, and you play through it, and when you're done with that, you've sort of beaten rock band for the evening. And that's a really new sensation and a really cool thing to do, to be able to basically plow through with 6 of your closest friends and just own a tour in an evening and walk away having won. So we're really excited about that. So just to recap, we have 3 sort of big audiences. The game sort of has enough stuff for everybody. We have a crazy amount of music, and it's not all about the keyboard and the guitar, but now that we're at this part of the demo, we should talk about the keyboard and the guitar, because they are unbelievable in their own right. So I'm going to step over here, and I'm going to do some double duty right now, play Sister Christian, while we talk about keyboards. So we've wanted to do keyboards for a long time in Rock Band. We've had a lot of fans request it, which has been really exciting, and we're really excited to bring it to them now. So I'm going to hold up the keyboard now. This is our Rock Band 3 keyboard controller. Mad Catz is making it. It's an awesome little piece of equipment. It's also a fully functional MIDI controller. It has a MIDI port on the outside, which is really nice, so you can use it to control MIDI devices in your home audio setup, or what's not. It's a 2-octave keyboard controller. At the top there's these stripes of color that tells you what region your hand should be in. But most importantly, before we get too far, I gotta get a different stand. Before I get too far into this, you can also play 5-button keyboards. So when I was playing at the top, just like Heaven, I was playing 5-lane, what we call keys mode. And that's just as simple as playing Rock Band guitar as it currently exists. Just 5 buttons to play, no real notes, it's just a simulation of gameplay. But it's super fun. So if you're a new player and you want to check out the keyboards and you love piano but you don't want to take the full plunge, you can just play these 5 buttons right here. You can also use your existing guitar controller to play any of the keyboard parts. If you love Bohemian Rhapsody but you can't afford a keyboard day one, you can play that on the guitar. And you can also play all the guitar and bass parts on the keyboard. So if I go into Sister Christian right now, you see I have 4 options to choose from. I have keys, which I just talked about as the 5-lane. I have guitar or bass parts in case I don't want to switch my controller and just want to play the bass on this. And I also have Pro keys. So Rock Band Pro, you may have heard of, is our new initiative, which is trying to kind of fulfill the Harmonix mission, right? To give non-musicians the experience of playing music and the joy that it comes from doing that without having to spend years toiling away and learning skills through sort of lessons and drills. But the important thing is that it scales from easy to expert. So even on Pro mode, there's an easy mode that's totally palatable. We're going to try it right now. So this is Sister Christian. You see the notes are still pretty spaced apart. It's not a constant flow of nothiness. It shows you about an octave of gameplay at a time, so you can see that I'm playing the real pitches from the song. It's fully pitch accurate gameplay. Oops, must have missed it. So even on easy, as it's a reduction, I'm still playing notes from that chord, and if I played it along with the song, it would sound correct, which is exciting. Now, the cool thing is you can use the Mad Catz keyboard for this. It's actually a built-in keyboard and controller combination. But you can also use any existing MIDI keyboard, like, say, the Korg M3 that we have right there, with the Mad Catz MIDI Pro adapter. And that's going to let you actually convert any MIDI keyboard into a game controller. So if you already have a keyboard in your house with a MIDI out, you're basically ready to rock on day one. And that's easy keys. So you can see it's pretty accessible, right? And we have great trainers to sort of ramp you up. You're not going to be sight reading that in the dark by yourself. I mean, you might, but instead we're going to sort of walk you into it, ease you into it, and then we'll get to the hard keys and see that there's some more stuff.